Welcome, electronic video guests. Today we have a feature film review of the movie that is all the rage, at least among horror fans. Today, electronic ladies and electronic gentlemen, we are giving our review of Obsession, the 2025 American film billed as supernatural horror, which is written, directed, and edited by someone named Curry Barker. Obsession premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 5th, 2025, as part of that film festival's Midnight Madness section, but was not released in the U.S. until May 15th, 2026, a couple of weeks ago. And yet, Obsession is another horror film marketed as horror that lacks horror, and is yet another critically acclaimed film, rating 8.2 on IMDb and getting a 77 on Metacritic. That is a colossal dud of a disappointment. The ultra-thin story centers upon a hemming and hawing, meek, near-incel named Baron Bear Bailey, who works at a small, local, family-owned music shop that somehow generates enough sales to keep 4 employees on the clock per shift. Now, now that's a rather petty script nitpick, I admit. But anyone who has ever worked in retail, and especially any of our poor electronic video guests who are currently employed, misfortunate enough to be employed at a Family Dollar or a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, will notice this gross deviation from our current late-stage capitalism labor management practices. But anyway, and more to the point, more to the story's ultra-thin point, Bear harbors a painfully frustrated and unspoken romantic affection for co-worker Nikki. The incellular Bear, upon hearing Nikki has lost her cherished crystal necklace, decides that purchasing her a new necklace and giving it to her as a gift will be the perfect opportunity for him to express his feelings for her. The hapless Bear thus heads to the local New Age herb and crystal shop, a kind of bohemian business establishment that seems like it was copied from a Portlandia sketch. He goes there to buy the necklace, but, being the deeply insecure nerd he is, he doubts his choice of necklace. He's about to leave the store in empty-handed despair when he happens to notice a peculiar novelty item known as a one-wish willow. Thinking this quirky little oddity of an impulse item might amuse Nikki, Bear does indeed buy it on impulse. But, alas, when the time comes for the bumbling Bear to give Nikki the gift and declare his feelings, he turtles. Alone in the car, he berates himself for his heterosexual incompetence. In a rash act of bitter, self-pitying irony, he snaps the one-wish willow in two while wishing for Nikki to love him more than anything in the world. It's no spoiler, of course, to reveal that this is exactly, well, not exactly, this is somewhat what happens. The rest of the film, in varying degrees of quality and gore, is a series of relationships or hell set pieces that eventually lead Bear to mourn for his old onanistic existence. Nikki's original, intelligent, and sarcastic disposition is entirely supplanted by a volatile, manic, bear-smitten doppelganger. She begins to exhibit bipolar, unhinged behavior. She stays up all night watching Bear as he sleeps. She stands in place, urinating and defecating while waiting for him to return from work. She threatens acts of self-harm to extort his loyalty, and then, during a social gathering, upon witnessing Bear about to kiss another young woman during a parlor game, Nikki actually does self-harm as she mutilates her own face with a broken bottle. From here, the movie descends into the familiar crude climax of most American horror films. Rapidly occurring acts of wanton violence the typical horror audience will have been numb to dozens of films ago, or at the very least, 2 Terrifier films ago, separated by the briefest interludes of character reflection. In Obsession's case, this means Bear accepting the full consequences of his catastrophic violation of Nikki's autonomy, followed by a lightning-quick role reversal which ensures the movie ends with the de rigueur horror film balancing of the cosmic order. Let me repeat that. Which ensures the movie ends with the de rigueur horror film balancing of the cosmic order. Now, there's no need to list all the film's many plot holes. How did Sandy the cat manage to open dead grandma's bottle of oxycodone, and why did Sandy like the taste of them so much she ate enough of them to die? Couldn't the filmmaker find a more plausible way to set up the feline cannibal lunch scene? Why are the rules of the One-Wish Willow so vague? Why does Nikki become violently obsessive rather than simply in love? After all, Bear's wish was that she love him more than anything, not that she become insanely, jealously obsessive. Now, these are just a few of the film's many plot holes, just so you know I'm not exaggerating when I say there are many. Though unless you have seen the film, you have no way to know if I've just listed them all, and I'm lying when I say there are more. Anyway, it's better to lament the film's wasted opportunity. This movie could have been a first-rate character study of our modern American adult male, the increasingly celibate terminal adolescent who can't connect with women because of his submission to the electronic and pornographic environment, yet he still feels he's entitled to have one. Almost all of Obsession's 108-minute runtime is spent on how Bear can manage his problems, how to get Nikki, how to keep Nikki, how to keep his friends from wondering how he got Nikki, how to keep his friends from noticing how oddly Nikki is behaving, how to keep Nikki from hurting herself, how to keep Nikki from hurting others, rather than Bear recognizing his role in creating his problems. There was greater character development in the 25-minute Twilight Zone love obsession episode The Chaser than in this film. Indeed, Bear's last scene epiphany is too little too late to save the movie from being other than an occasionally creepy, occasionally gory, and a review contradicting never funny Make-A-Wish gimmick flick in which the gimmick is the sick boy's wish ultimately turns out to be a wish to die. Well, if I had to give this film a numerical rating, let's devise our own unique scoring system. And hopefully we'll have a picture of this new rating scale on the screen here. I would give the film a 2 on our new scale, and hopefully the picture will help you understand what a 2 means. Okay, that is it. That is our review of Obsession. We hope you enjoyed that, and if you agree or disagree, put your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the film if you've seen it. Otherwise, that's going to be it for now. We'll be back in a few days with another video. Until then, remember, you might want to head over to Amazon.com You might want to get a good book to read after the disappointment of Obsession. Type in this author's name here, Henry L. Rasico, that book title. This book will come up. Maybe a couple others will pop up too. If you want something that's actually realistically horrifying, check out these books here. They give you a horrifyingly realistic picture of real life and the horrors we create for ourselves and others create for us, how we manage to get in and out of them, and what it all means. So I recommend these more than I do Obsession. But like I said, that is it for now. Hopefully you'll be back for our next video. Until then, remember, enjoy the rest of your life.